one of my business ideas, since I can't find a job anyway, is to open a hobby game store, but have it focus less on selling games and focus more on being essentially a meeting location for people to play the games. Like, I remember when I was younger being all excited about having a security badge and codes. Whoa, this part, what are you doing? This guy, oh my God, you're a terrible human being. That guy just turned through a red light in front of those of us that had the green light, and it was 4 lanes of traffic that he just turned in front of. He just decided it was time to go. Sorry for the interruption. That happens when I'm making these videos, because it happens while I'm driving. Game shop that focuses more on being a place you can go to play the games. When I was younger and worked for companies where I had security badge and code to get into the building after hours, I asked permission, but would sometimes bring my gaming group to my place of work, and we would use conference rooms, big whiteboards, big table, comfortable seats. Okay, please don't change these into me. Okay. And of course, the Wi-Fi connection there was amazing, because, you know, like T1 lines, and if you're old like me, you remember what that means. It was only toward the end where T3 lines were becoming a thing, and yeah, internet was more confusing then. Anyway, we would bring our laptops and all our papers and dice and pencils and just play, and it was really cool. Most people don't have, oh shit, sorry. For some reason, traffic just went from normal highway speed to under 30 miles an hour. Under 20 miles an hour. Screw you people. It's not raining that hard. Oh, what a stupid... Why do people slow down this much when it rains? No. Sorry. Anyway, those conference rooms were awesome. And most people don't have a room like that in their house. Like maybe a dining room with a good sized table. I suspect these days that luxuries like dining room tables or like dining rooms are less common, with the trend of landowners intentionally screwing over people so that they have to rent at higher prices, and like people aren't able to buy their own homes and end up living in apartments and smaller spaces. I get the feeling that most people don't have something like that, but might enjoy something like that. And so this game shop I'm envisioning would essentially be like most of its volume taken up by essentially conference rooms. And that way, like, people could I'm thinking of a model where people get memberships so that they can sign something that says, no, I will not destroy your property or leave horrifying, disgusting messes. And if I do something, I am liable for it. And then whoever rents out the room is then the person liable for damage or messes that require paid cleanup. So yeah, like, there's a membership that doesn't cost anything, and then but you do have the ability to rent rooms with a membership, and that's it. Like, somebody off the street, no thanks. But if you sign up and we have a way of holding you accountable, then yeah, cool, use the room. You are responsible for the people you bring with you. And then we provide things like an excellent internet connection, comfortable chairs, big table, whiteboards, probably a projector, maybe even like good conference room equipment, like a phone, like one of those conference room phones. Maybe a camera for those meeting things. And that way people could use it for playing with people who can't get there physically, who have to join remotely. And also that gives a way for the building to be useful during the day. Like companies that would like to have meetings in a space like that, but don't have a big office of their own, might want to rent that stuff out during the day. So I can imagine that it's not just an after hours sort of thing. Might be a decent sized common area that's more likely to have things like couches. People are welcome to just hang out while they're waiting for their group to show up, or I don't know, while they're looking over the documents, something like that, a lobby. But on top of that, that's also where any small amount of storefront would be. Like, if we did end up selling games, keeping a stock of things people can buy, heck, even like dice or miniatures or something, so that probably not likely miniatures. Those things are so much better when you custom order them or 3D print them yourselves. Like, I don't know if a stock of minis would be a good plan, but things like dice, notebooks, pencils, essentially office supplies, pieces, maybe like counters that could be used for things like the collectible card games that sometimes need counters. Yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable. The other thing, when my wife and I talked about opening a shop like this, she was more interested in the coffee shop side of it, where like she's wanted to do something like that as a business. She worked in one of them when she was younger and liked the idea. Loves coffee. But essentially, if it was one thing, then the coffee shop could provide coffee for people who are doing their work and or playing games and want to stay up late, whatever. Could be, or I think it's a good complementary business, and having that inside the building, and maybe even a drive-through or something on that one side of the building, could be really good. Yeah, I think that's a pretty decent description of the whole thing. Yeah, I'm not thinking of anything that I particularly left out. Yeah, I'd need to look into, costs that would be associated with it, and figure out what reasonable rental rates would be. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking now, so I don't need to keep the video going. I'd love to hear some thoughts, comments on the video if you think this is, like, if you happen to be a gamer and think that that's something that you and your group of gamers would enjoy. Let me know. Let me know if there's anything you think should be in the shop so that this might be more appealing. Wow, sorry, just looking at the parking situation here. All right. Thanks for listening. And yeah, like I said, definitely leave some comments. I love some feedback on the idea, whether or not you think it's a good idea. Heck, if you happen to live in a place further away, maybe we can talk about turning it into sort of a group thing where we're figuring out how to make this happen, and we each start our stores in the different places and lean on each other a little bit for support. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Again, thanks for listening, and I'll look for you in the comments.